Good morning. Hi everybody. My name is Chrissy and today in this video I'm going to specifically focus on New Zealand. Now, New Zealand is going through a lot of challenges at the moment. There's a lot of protests and there's just a lot of freedom fighting going on over there. So I thought it'd be good to just do this little video for anyone who's in New Zealand. I know I touch on a lot of countries, so this one is specifically for New Zealand and the energy that's going on. Certainly, if you're watching, a lot of the energies that come through are still very relatable for people right around the globe, so this can relate to too, but I will touch specifically on New Zealand in this video. So I'm just going to let my guides channel through and we'll see what we get. Now, I'm getting that Jacinda Ardern. She is like a machine. She is like a methodical robot. She has her agenda and her agenda is being pushed. She is a real achiever. She will achieve her goals at any cost. And I think that's something that as New Zealanders, they would have known that in the past, that she's a person, if she implements and says she's going to do something, it gets carried right through to sort of fruition. She definitely has a huge agenda. She's got a lot to be met in a certain time frame. So they're showing me like by within a year, she wants to have implemented all the digital passcodes. She's really shaking things up over there. It's making people very unsettled. And I'm getting a lot of that sort of just, this is just an analogy. It doesn't mean you're going to get one. It's that earthquake energy, and I know that's something that you New Zealanders probably can relate to. You've had a few earthquakes over there. But it's about the energy. So she's shaking everything up. So this is just her shaking up society. People have got a lot of question marks around what's actually currently going on. They're very confused. I feel like New Zealand, there's like total confusion and like chaos. It's like for example, a storm has gone through and it's wiped out a town or a village, and all the houses are crushed to the ground, and everybody sort of, the people who've survived come out all bewildered and just confused to what even happened. And I feel like that's the current energy in New Zealand. People feel like their lives are being like destroyed before their very eyes, and they're just looking around. I mean, I can relate, as in when we had the bushfires here in Australia, it's that same sort of energy. When people, after the fires have gone through, people come out and there's like this eerie silence. Like you have this chaos, but then there's this eerie silence after. It's sort of the aftermath. So this is what's happening in New Zealand. She's shaking her society to the core, and it's causing people to just feel bewildered, to feel lost, and they are feeling enraged. People in New Zealand are enraged about what is going on and how is this happening. Now, people are trying to stand up to tyranny, and the ones who can see are standing up and trying to protest. And you know, again, that strength in numbers. You have to get around your light kind and you have to find those strength in numbers, because things are collapsing in New Zealand. This is going to be a really swift takeover in New Zealand. Jacinda's she's a person who really can ride things right to the end, like I said. So she's on her goal. She has her goal over here, and she is on a mission to absolutely get there. And nothing will deter her or take her off that path. No matter what's happening around protests, no matter what's happening in her parliamentary government, if people are speaking out to her, she will not even come off or veer off at all from that goal that she has set. And look, this is so crucial that you stay united. People have to stay united in there. Because what is happening, and you have to look at this as a global situation, it's not just New Zealand out on their own. This is a worldwide agenda that has started to be implemented, and it is waking people up. Now, we know about Klaus Schwab. If you look that up at the World Economic Forum, he has his leaders, and Jacinda is one of those leaders. So if you go and watch a few of those videos, I think it's very educating to what their actual plan and agenda is. I mean, at one of these World Economic Forums, they even did a simulation of a pandemic, which is very coincidental before this all began. So we can pretty much say there's definitely a bit of a plan. And the book is actually called The Great Reset, if anybody wants to sort of search that up. And I think we've got to know that she is one of these leaders that is really trying to push the agenda. Trudeau in Canada is another one. I'm sure there's many that we don't know of. We've certainly got one in Australia. I think it's Greg Hunt, and they all go to these forums. Oh, sorry, the energy is just exhausting. You New Zealanders have to be very, very tired. This is getting to the point where people are just worn out, they're weary, they're tired of their government, they're tired of having to fight for everyday basic necessities. Like, it's almost like you can see people, again, fighting over that toilet paper, and that's why I get that yawning and that tiredness, because this is what happens when people's energy gets depleted. They're fighting over things. Like, this is what's happening, and this is far-reaching. So this is beyond the shores of New Zealand. This is all around the globe. You know, here in Australia we've had totalitarian measures happening here for a while. I think today's the first day we're actually ditching masks today here, so which is I think it's the 20. Oh, I'm not sure of the date today. I think it's the 26th, I think, today of February. But we're finally ditching the masks. It's like an absolute miracle here. It's just great to throw the masks away and no more QR codes. So suddenly there's been a lot of backflipping as well. But as people are starting to wake up, we notice there's a lot of backflipping. So you'll find in New Zealand, this will start to happen as well. So look at the fact that this is a global agenda and you're not on your own. Start finding like-kind. You know, you can always leave me comments down below. I love hearing from you guys. We all chat. I've got people in Canada, America, Netherlands. We all chat, and that's how you get that strength in numbers. We share our information and we keep putting it out online. Because that's how we spread the truth, because we know that obviously in New Zealand as well, the media has been lying to everybody, and they've been, in Australia here, they've fudged the numbers in New South Wales, and they actually admitted that on TV the other day, that they accidentally got the numbers skewed. And so they're sort of letting little bits and pieces out, sort of covering their tracks. But look, in New Zealand, when you are feeling like you're struggling and people don't understand, and you're feeling ostracized or vilified, this is about freedom. Now, this is not about just who's vaccinated and who's unvaccinated. This is a much bigger picture, because mandates are being implemented to create other things down the track. So we know that mandates around being vaccinated to save everyone from the virus and all this sort of thing is a little bit of a far extreme sort of implementation, I guess you could say. People have lost their jobs, people have lost their businesses, they've lost their livelihoods, and I know in New Zealand that's probably who the people are that are marching, and people are forgetting that. They're putting on TV that these are big anti-vax protests, but they're not anti-vax protests. They're people who want their lives back, who want their freedom, who have had it taken away for a couple of years. So know that all around the globe, this is what's going on. There's this massive uprising, and I predicted that. If you look back at my video, Canada Uprising, I predicted that Canada would be the ones that would start to make that difference in the world. And this is the domino effect. One thing falls over, then everybody else starts to have that sort of effect down the track. So New Zealand, you're one of them as well, that are starting to stand up and seeing the truth and seeing things for what they really are. I'll just see if I get anything else at the minute. I'm getting that Jacinda Ardern she's like publishing a book. I don't know if she's published the book or she's got a book coming out, or because she's one of these leaders, she feels she's got this authority to put out her knowledge and her skills. And gosh, I don't think that's going to be a bestseller personally if she does. But she thinks she can put out a book. Like, she's seen what Klaus Schwab did with the Great Reset. And I feel like she's wanting to sort of have her own individual ideas put into a book. That's something that I'm definitely getting. It might not happen, or it might have already happened. Let me know down below if that's already happened. But I feel like she's actually like empowering herself. It's kind of almost embarrassing because it's getting so obvious now that this is all about ego, having control, looking to the masses like she's actually, what I'm trying to say is she's putting herself on the pedestal. So you know how some people look up to people and they put people on a pedestal. Well, she's actually putting herself on the pedestal. And I feel that's around the book. There's something either in her mind going around that she could write this big book. If other people can write these books and sort of change the world, then maybe I can do this, and I have this incredible gift and power. She's been fed a lot of it's sort of the way they've been trained. And if we look at the mass psychosis, which we know has affected so many people around the globe, it's almost like she's been also indoctrinated with information, and her ego's been fed to the point that she actually believes it. So she is quite scary. Moving forward, I really believe that in New Zealand, she's not a person who's going to come off her agenda. She's very, very driven, and she's very strong-minded. And I think you can see that as well with her when she talks. She even laughs. It's almost like bizarre, because why would you be laughing when things are like very serious? And that's something I've always noted about New Zealand, is that she actually laughs in inappropriate situations, and it doesn't match the context. It's almost like she's just laughing at how easy all this has been to kind of just bring into the society. It's like she didn't realize it was just going to unfold, and that people would be dividing, and that it would all just unravel so easily. So look, if you are in New Zealand, stay really strong. I know it's really hard. We've all been there. Keep connecting with like-kind, regroup, save yourself in the chaos as well. Nurture yourself, take care of yourself. Don't get overwhelmed by going too far forward, because sometimes if you do that, you can get yourself all worked up with fear and anxiety. Biggest tip, turn TV off, because that helps massively, because media is a virus as well, as we know, that is creeping out there into society. So look, they're my tips for today, and that's the guidance that I'm getting for you in New Zealand. Look after yourself. TV off, stay with like-kind, try and find your support network and your support crew. If not, reach out to the rest of the world, because there's tons of people out there that are on YouTube, on lots of different channels, that can give you some great info as well of how to navigate this, because it is really challenging. But the world is rising, and people are waking up from their sort of coma now and that mass psychosis. But it's a gradual process. It's not going to just happen overnight, because they're very strong, and she's very strong, like I said, your Prime Minister, in implementing her agenda. She won't budge. She's got like her deadlines, and that's where she's aiming. It's like, you know, getting that target and shooting an arrow into that target. That's how strong she is. But look, stay positive. Don't give up. Freedom fighters all around the globe, we're all standing up together, and we're making a difference, because it's also about that vibration. When you've got a mass of people together, it's a beautiful vibration. Go and watch a video as well called Battleground Melbourne. That'll help you a lot. It'll get you very inspired. It's on YouTube. And also go and check out the long march in Canberra. That's the marches we had recently here in Canberra, and that'll get you feeling a little bit better and a little bit more positive as well about where you're heading, because you're not alone in this, and the truths are coming out. You'll see on those videos that the truths are coming out. Gosh, some of the police in Victoria are being charged for being so cruel to the protesters, as in beating them up and things like that. So look, you've got to know these things are coming out. It's a process, so be very patient, but things are changing. Look, take care. Hi to all my New Zealand friends. Please comment. Love hearing from you guys. And like I said, hit the like buttons. It keeps everything churning around. And also subscribe to my channel. I have lots of self-help videos as well. I've got tons of 2022 predictions on there too. And if you go and look back at some of my self-help ones, I've got a lot on depression, suicide, feeling overwhelmed, anxiety, fears, so many things that can help you. Please go try some of them. And I will see you in that next video. Bye from Australia. Take care.